There's no monster. There's no monster. There's no... Hello everyone and welcome to the road to Devastation. Today we are looking at Constructicon Scavenger. Super excited to check this one out. This was one of my favorite designs back in the day, and the only toy I ever got of it was the tiny little Legends class one. So excited to get a much bigger version of it. And this guy is very big. He is a leader class toy. Biggest one we've looked at so far. So let's start taking a look at it, but first we gotta look at the box. So we got nice big illustration of Scavenger. He's got the neat sort of double wheel design going on here. It's number 55 Studio Series Constructicon Scavenger. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. 8 Plus Hasbro Transformers Takara Generations. Don't know if you can see all this, but we got the same illustration as before, as well as the vacuum face, just bigger because it's on a bigger box. Then we have some nice product renders here. Big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. Pyramid Desert Battle, and all this stuff is repeated again in multiple different languages. Got Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Constructicon Scavenger. And there's a picture of the background thing. I think we've seen that one before. I don't know for certain. Then, barely fitting on the camera here, we have the side. Nice close-up of his face. Studio Series 55, if you can see that. And it says Leader Class on the side. Up here, even though it's a bigger window, you still can't see much. And then on the bottom, still nothing super important. All right. That's enough of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual figure. All right, and here is Scavenger in his massive glory. This guy is huge, but he's a leader class, so it's kind of what we expect. And the background is huge to kind of go along with it. But let's go ahead and get that aside, because there really isn't anything super special about this other than the fact that it's big. It's the same background that we saw on all the others. So here he is, not even really fitting in frame. With this wheel up here, he is very, very tall. And I like this design. As I mentioned before, this was one of my favorite designs from Revenge of the Fallen, and I just can't help but like it. It's a neat take on things. It's not a traditional robot, and maybe that should make me dislike it, but I can't help but like it even more because it is just not your regular robot. Most of the packaging stuff shows him having his arms like this, but I find doing this gets a little bit more natural range of movement. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and start taking a look at articulation. So one thing to note is the wheels do spin. They're very stiff, so I'm not going to get them to really do much of anything on the sheet here. Don't think this one spins though. No, this one feels very stationary. At the very least, I don't feel like trying to test that theory. The head is on a ball joint and a hinge, which gets you actually fairly decent movement. And let's just take a moment to appreciate the paint apps on this. You got the silver, the dark colors, the gunmetal, and the yellow and the black, and it just works very well together. Again, like the others, this probably would have been better if they had put a little bit of a wash on it, but take what you can get. Okay, so right here at the shoulder, you get a ratcheting, or at least pseudo-ratchet rotation. There's a ratcheting rotation this direction. Let's see. Obviously ratcheting. Movement this way. Oh goodness, that is super stiff. That's scary. I guess you could say this is an elbow, and it is kind of double jointed. You get a joint here and joint there, yeah. And you got a hinge here for the shovel arm thing, and a hinge here to kind of splay it out a little bit more. So that way it looks more like fingers. You can rotate like this for its version of a hip rotation, I guess. It does add a certain dynamic nature to the posing, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's not like loaded with articulation, but he also doesn't have a regular robot body. So it's kind of like what I said with Rampage. He doesn't really need it. Speaking of Rampage, let's go ahead and start taking a look at everybody else that we've already looked at. And this is gonna take a bit. Okay, so here is Long Haul. Just barely in the background there. Here is Scrap Metal. Hightower. Mixmaster. I'll move that so you can. And Rampage. The group is really coming together. I am enjoying this quite a bit. Almost enough to get me to take my mind off of all this monster business. Anyway, so let's go ahead, get all these guys aside, give us plenty of room to work with, and let's get this guy into vehicle mode and see how that looks. Alright, well, here's the part that I've been waiting for, because I want to know how the heck this guy transforms into his alt mode. So let's get started. Looks like we're going to take off these little armatures and rotate them forward, and then it shows me that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. These instructions are awful, because it shows rotating this thing, but it doesn't change position or anything. There, is that what I'm supposed to do? Okay. Get the arms into this position. We'll go ahead and close up his hands, as it were. Gonna rotate these up like this, just to give us a little bit of working room, and we're gonna split this bottom wheel. Oh, hey, look at that. There's his treads, it looks like. Cool. Okay. Hey, if you have them like this, it could be like a hover mode. So now it looks like it's showing this rotating. That doesn't make any sense unless we're rotating the entire assembly. I guess that's what we're doing. Again, these instructions are not the most helpful thing in the world. And this thing is so big, you probably can't even see what I'm doing. Okay. This isn't making any sense. Hold on. Not much longer now. End of the month. It'll be here. Had to watch somebody's transformation video, but I think I had a better idea of it. So this does rotate down like this. Okay. And then these hubs connect together like that with this up. That actually looks kind of cool all by itself. Okay. So this part opens up. And does it connect into something? Okay, so we want, there we go. So there's a little peg right here and a slot there. Say this, it's certainly secure feeling. All right. So now we're going to straighten out these parts. And now we're going to bring these in like that. That's what the instructions seem to tell me. And then rotate them around like this. He's so big that I don't know if you can even see all of this stuff. Now we're going to flip this around. We're starting to get somewhere, folks. We're starting to get somewhere. Okay. So bring that part up. And this up and up. Just up. And start closing this together. That's what this feels like. Feels like we're closing this together. We're trying to. We've got pegs and holes on the various parts, trying to get everything to match up. This side does not want to. Okay. So we're going to what are we doing here? Ah, that was scary. I did not care for that at all. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Still don't have everything quite locked into place, but hopefully we will get there as we move along. Okay, I think I see where this is all going. So now what we're doing is we're just boxing this all in, pretending it doesn't exist. There we go, there we go. And then we're going to push everything together on the shovel arm. And including the little bucket hands. Scary tight ratchet. That looks like it goes down like that. And this goes down like that. And I think we got ourselves a big old steam shovel construction vehicle thing. Whew! That one was a bit intense. Just trying to figure everything out. But yeah, I dig it. And he digs too. Certainly not the cleanest vehicle mode we've had so far. You can very much see the big wheel here. You flip him over, he's got that staring at you. So obviously some sacrifices were made on this for the purposes of having him transform into his robot mode, as well as his parts for Devastator. I think he's the upper torso. So yeah, usually when you have something that is a triple changer, like a combiner dude, you're going to have a part that is going to be the weakest of them all, or a mode that's the weakest of them all. And it looks like in this case, his vehicle mode is kind of the weakest. But it's not horrible. Rolls along on two little wheels here. We've hidden away a lot of the black, so we're now more in favor of the red. We do have different shades of red plastic here, which is a little bothersome, but I imagine these are different kinds of plastic here, so it's stronger stuff to better support the hinges and the weight of everything that's going on here. And yeah, let's go ahead and compare him to all the others. So here's Mixmaster, Long Haul, Scrap Metal, Rampage, and Hightower. So there they are. They can't. We're having trouble getting everybody to fit in the picture again. So yeah, let's go ahead, get these guys aside, and get him transformed into his combiner mode. Okay, so to start off, we're gonna flip him upside down and around. We're going to removing the head, or we're flipping the head up like this. Then back on this side, we're gonna flip up these panels and we're gonna open things up at these hinges right here. In fact, we are flipping these around all the way. There we go. Then we are rotating the shovel arms like this. Goodness. Come on. Got that. And I'm gonna flip the hands down. And now we're going to just bend these back like this. On both sides, obviously. Keeping it symmetrical. Then we're rotating everything around. These joints are so stiff, it's scary. Okay. Next, what are we doing? Oh, apparently that was supposed to be up like that. Now we are folding these down. And it looks like there's a spot. There we go. Oh god, I do not like these clicking sounds. They are loud and scary. Okay. Almost looks like a spaceship now. Okay. Now we are opening this up like that. And we are separating the wheels out. Closing that back up. And we are rotating this up at least a little bit and rotating these down. Oh, and we're supposed to collapse the treads back into the wheel forms. Now it looks like some sort of futuristic lawnmower. Get those in position and flip up these parts. And then we're gonna rotate these around and then combine them here. And you can see there's a peg here and a hole here, as well as on the other sides there. So it's just a matter of getting everything to line up. There we go. Say this, everything's fitting quite snugly. Okay. Now I'm trying to figure out what it's asking me to do. Okay, so we're basically lifting that up like that, rotating that. Bringing that down like that. Oh, we got peg and hole right there. So we're going to bring these down like that and like that. A little worried that there's already stress marks there on the plastic. Hopefully that is okay. And that's that. This is part of basically his shoulders. Oh, I'm betting those are his combiner pegs. Okay. So, not much to look at on its own. But once we get everybody together, it's probably going to look very, very cool. Let's go ahead, get this guy back into robot mode, and we will discuss my final thoughts. So overall, I like this figure. Though in some ways, I'm a little torn on my recommendation. The figure itself looks really cool. But the way its vehicle mode came out really suffers, I think, for everything that they're trying to do. So that's something to be aware of. But overall, I like this thing. And yeah, not much else I can think of to say that I haven't already said right now. The transformation is pretty involved, and I imagine it would be a lot easier if the instructions that it came with just weren't garbage. I've been hearing people complain a lot about modern Transformer instructions, and I've never really had much of a problem until I started working on this series. Or maybe Rodimus's warnings are really starting to take a toll on me. I don't know. Monsters aren't real, right? Anyway, that's been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space, t-shirts, and more. And yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time you step on the road to devastation.